what has happened is a colossal military disaster. We shall go on to the end. We shall never surrender.
I've never met a director who wasn't themselves a film buff.
Mm-hmm.
You've gone to a lot of effort in this film to make sure it was done just as you wanted to, no matter how many obstacles you had to overcome to make that happen.
I think as a director, you're wise to consider the aesthetic impact of different techniques on other people's films and how that's going to affect the audience watching your film. And so in the case of this movie, it was a very early decision to not use any computer-generated imagery.
Yes.
Because I have found in cinema that there's a very poor matchup between the patina of computer animation and the World War II subject matter, the period. For some reason, whether it's color, reproduction, whatever it is, there's something in that artifice that doesn't gel as well as that. And so in terms of choosing our techniques, we chose more old-fashioned tricks.
Actually, it's not new, it's just that difficult to do.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's difficult to do. It's also about how our expectation of imagery has developed over the history of movies. And so when you're filming an aerial battle, for example, people are very used now to seeing, whether it's GoPro footage or whatever, they have a real understanding of the possibility of getting a camera right in their ear, right on their shoulder as they go through some very intense experience. And so we're using IMAX cameras, which are a lot more challenging than GoPro cameras, but we've got to achieve that same level of reality and subjectivity. We've got to take the audience on that journey. And so that involves, for me, more in-camera trickery, more in-camera photography, and doing more things for real.
It occurs to me that there's a sort of a dichotomy in the sense that we're talking about a canvas that is very large in many ways.
Yeah.
The beach itself is, and you were on the actual beach, and yet there are also all of these incredibly close-up, intimate moments trying to capture the faintest flicker of what's going on inside of people.
I consider it an intimate epic.
Intimate
These are
epic.
Epic events, but we communicate them to the audience in an incredibly subjective and very intimate way. So we want you really in there with the characters. The IMAX format, large format photography, it's very well suited to the detail of a wide shot, really getting a tableau, but it's also incredibly well suited to a very immediate and tactile close-up. You can really feel people's breath, you can feel people's effort, their fear, what's going on. Just as in the wide shots, you could feel the detail of the thousands of extras.
I had never thought before quite so much about how most of these people certainly did not think of themselves as heroes. They didn't even think of themselves as brave. Most of them probably, when they were going through it, thought of themselves as cowards.
Well, I think true courage is founded on fear, and I think it's something that isn't necessarily always well communicated in our stories or movies, but these are characters experiencing absolute terror and fighting for survival. And they're trying to process that experience after the fact and say, what did that mean? What does that say about true heroism?
Christopher, thank you very much.